Thank you for visiting the Combs Waterkotte website and our Federal Immigration Fraud Defense Lawyer in Missouri website page. Regardless of the crime, we believe everyone is entitled to the best possible legal defense in the state of Missouri. We have created this audio version of our website page to help you better understand our services and protect your future, freedom, and reputation. If you have been charged with federal immigration fraud in the state of Missouri, we can help. Don't face the state and court system alone during your federal immigration fraud charge. Contact one of our Missouri federal immigration fraud defense lawyers today at 314-900. Help to protect your rights and future. Combs Waterkotte is committed to handling all federal immigration fraud defense cases with confidential care and understanding. We are not here to judge you. We believe that everyone in Missouri, regardless of the crime they have been charged with, deserves an aggressive legal defense and to have their legal rights protected. With that being said, let's discuss hiring our federal immigration fraud defense lawyers in Missouri and setting up a free consultation with our attorneys. Federal Immigration Fraud Defense Lawyers in Missouri. Federal immigration fraud charges can cost you your freedom, your status, and your future in the U.S. Combs Waterkotte's Missouri Immigration Fraud. Attorneys defend clients accused of marriage fraud, false documentation, benefit fraud, and other serious offenses. Whether your case involves USCIS, ICE, or U.S. District Court, we fight for results that protect your rights, your family, and your future. What is federal immigration fraud? Federal immigration fraud refers to any intentional misrepresentation or deceptive act used to gain immigration benefits or evade immigration enforcement. These charges often stem from visa applications, green card petitions, marriage-based filings, or the use of false documents. Federal prosecutors focus on whether the accused knowingly made false statements or used fraudulent means to manipulate the immigration system. Common types of immigration fraud include marriage fraud, entering a marriage solely for immigration purposes without a real relationship. Document fraud, using or submitting fake green cards, visas, social security numbers, or work permits. Benefit fraud, lying or omitting key facts on immigration forms or applications. Identity fraud, assuming another person's identity to work, apply for status, or avoid removal. What is the penalty for immigration fraud? Depending on the conduct, immigration fraud can result in deportation, criminal prosecution, fines, imprisonment, denial of future immigration benefits, or even denaturalization if U.S. citizenship was fraudulently obtained. Who investigates immigration fraud in Missouri? Several federal agencies investigate immigration fraud in Missouri, often working together to uncover suspected violations. These agencies operate across state lines and frequently initiate cases through tips, audits, or surveillance. U.S. Citizenship and Immigration Services, USCIS, reviews applications and refers suspicious cases for investigation. Immigration and Customs Enforcement, ICE, conducts criminal investigations and makes arrests related to immigration fraud. Department of State flags suspicious visa or green card applications from abroad. Department of Justice, DOJ, prosecutes immigration fraud cases in U.S. District Court. Social Security Administration and Department of Labor investigate fraud related to employment eligibility or benefits. These agencies often work together to build complex federal cases. Our Missouri criminal defense lawyers for immigrants are experienced in dealing with investigations and enforcement actions involving USCIS, ICE, and federal prosecutors. Key federal immigration fraud statutes. Federal immigration fraud is prosecuted under a range of statutes depending on the type of misconduct. Most charges involve knowingly submitting false information, using fraudulent documents, or conspiring to commit immigration-related fraud. Federal penalties for immigration fraud in Missouri. Immigration fraud is a federal offense that carries severe criminal and immigration consequences. Even seemingly minor misrepresentations can result in major penalties that affect your freedom, immigration status, and future. In addition to prison time and fines, a conviction may result in removal, deportation, inadmissibility, and denaturalization. Our immigration fraud lawyers in Missouri work to protect your rights and avoid these life-altering consequences. Defense strategies from a Missouri immigration fraud lawyer. To convict you of immigration fraud, the federal government must prove that you knowingly made a false statement or used false documents to obtain an immigration benefit. Our Missouri immigration fraud attorneys analyze every aspect of the government's case and craft a strategy tailored to your situation, often focusing on lack of intent, mistaken identity, or procedural violations. Lack of intent or knowledge. You may not have known that a document was fraudulent, or you may have relied on someone else, such as a consultant, family member, or translator, who completed the paperwork improperly. Without proof that you knowingly committed fraud, the case may fall apart. Reliance on others. In many cases, people accused of immigration fraud place their trust in someone else to handle their paperwork, only to find out later that errors or forgeries occurred. If you didn't create or knowingly submit the fraudulent materials, you may have a strong defense. False statement was not material. Even if a mistake was made, it must be shown to have impacted the decision on your immigration application. If the government cannot prove that the statement or document was material to your eligibility, the charge may not hold up in court. Improper procedures or evidence. We investigate whether your rights were violated through unlawful searches, coerced statements, or procedural errors. Any evidence obtained illegally may be suppressed, weakening the government's case. Duress or exploitation. In some cases, individuals are coerced into committing fraud or used as pawns in larger schemes. If you were threatened, manipulated, or deceived by someone else, that context can be a critical part of your defense. Why you need a Missouri federal immigration fraud attorney. Federal immigration fraud charges can seriously impact your future and status in the U.S. Here's what you get when you hire Combs Waterkotte to protect you. What you get with our firm. Private consultations with a federal immigration fraud lawyer. Bilingual team and culturally informed support. Detailed review of USCIS, ICE, and DOJ claims. Proven experience in federal courtrooms. Why clients choose Combs Waterkotte. Thousands of federal cases successfully defended. Defense for deportation and criminal penalties. Offices in St. Louis and Kansas City. Known for resolving high-stakes fraud cases quietly. Missouri immigration fraud attorneys with nationwide reach. Federal immigration fraud cases often involve USCIS, ICE, and DOJ investigations that span state lines. Our Missouri immigration fraud lawyers bring big firm federal defense resources and a deep understanding of Missouri courts. We've defended immigration fraud cases in both the eastern and western districts of Missouri and work with investigators, interpreters, and immigration specialists across the country to protect your future. Protecting your freedom and status in federal immigration cases. Immigration fraud charges put everything at risk: your reputation, your career, and your ability to remain in the U.S. Combs, Waterkotte's immigration fraud lawyers in Missouri fight to resolve these cases quietly, strategically, and aggressively. We protect our clients from deportation, denial of benefits, and the stigma of a fraud conviction with a defense team that knows what's at stake. Contact a Missouri immigration fraud lawyer today. If you're being investigated or have been charged with federal immigration fraud in Missouri, you need a defense team that understands both immigration law and federal criminal procedure. Combs Waterkotte is here to protect your rights, freedom, and future. Contact us today or call 314-900-HELP to schedule a free consultation with an experienced Missouri immigration fraud lawyer.